night, non-stop delightful radio broadcast. Join us, culture and entertainment at their best.
N'afọ na nwa na mmụọ nsọ. Angels.
Mama Nkosebru Agwaptal Maria.
O wetara na-esenike nke mmụọ nsọ.
Ekene Maria Egyptel na Grace Osebru Anonyeli. Ịdị ngọzi n'etiti ikporo niile. Ọ jazi ngọzi bụ nwafọ gị Jesu.
Maria dị asọ nne nke Chukwu. Lebara ndị nje arịrịọ. Pita na amanọnwa anyị. Amen.
Nyeju odibo nwanyị Nkosebru ụwa.
Onye m ka isi kwuo.
Ekene Maria Egyptel na Grace Osebru Anonyeli. Ịdị ngọzi n'etiti ikporo niile. Ọ jazi ngọzi bụ nwafọ gị Jesu.
Maria dị asọ nne nke Chukwu.
Okay, so guys, like, subscribe, and share, right? Thank you.
Okwu emela arụ. Ekene Maria Egyptel na Grace Osebru Anonyeli. Ịdị ngọzi n'etiti ikporo niile. Ọ jazi ngọzi bụ nwafọ gị Jesu.
Maria dị asọ nne nke Chukwu. Lebara ndị nje arịrịọ. Pita na amanọnwa anyị. Amen.
Gabara anyị arịrịọ ọnne nke Chukwu dị asọ. Arịrịọ anyị na-arịọ gị o Chukwu ka erinye Grace anyị n'ime obi anyị ka anyị bụ ndị ndị butere ozi ọma wee mara iwere arụ Kristi nwa gị site n'afọ ya n'obe ya wee bata n'osito na mbilite n'ọnwụ ya site na Kristi dị mere anyị. Amen. Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Etu ọ dị n'isi na nkịta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebe ebe. Amen.
Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Etu ọ dị n'isi na nkịta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebe ebe. Amen.
Otito dịrị Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Etu ọ dị n'isi na nkịta na ebo niile n'ụwa ebe ebe. Amen.
Ka mkpụrụ obi ndị niile kwere nụ gara aga.
Site n'ekpere nke Chukwu ka ha zuru ike na ndokwa.
Ka mkpụrụ obi fa zuru ike na ndokwa.
Amen.
Onye nwe anyị nọnyere ụnụ.
Nọnyekwa ya mmụọ gị.
Ka Chineke ji ike niile gọzie ụnụ. Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Amen.
Ekpere a bịara gị site na nkwado ndị Love Bite Foods and Beverages Limited Nnobi. Ndị na-alụpụta Love Bite Bread nọ na nọmba 1 Nwosu Mmadụka Close, Mmuru Nnobi, 081 49 82 82 54.
Listen to news updates on Ebonadi 103.5 FM immediately after Angels 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebonadi FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM.
Good evening and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM news update today, Wednesday, the 12th day of April 2023. And the time is 4 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Ifan Chukwekeze is my name. The headlines. Ex-Anambra Governor Mbadnuju dies at 78. Alex Oti names Aruma Ote others as transition committee members. Federal Road Safety Corps confirms death of 12 persons as EBSU shuttle bus collides with truck in Ebonyi. Mysterious death claim 4 family members in Enugu community. You can't force Igbos into war, Ohaneze to EPA on claiming to be Biafran Prime Minister. South Korea fines Google $32 million for blocking sales on rivals platform. Now, details. Ex-Anambra Governor Mbadnuju dies at 78. Former Governor of Anambra State, Chinwoke Mbadnuju, was confirmed in a statement by his first son, Chetashi Mbadnuju, on Tuesday. With heavy hearts but utmost gratitude to God for a life well spent, we announce the passing of our father, grandfather, uncle, friend, and associate, Dr. Chinwoke Mbanuju, a former governor of Anambra State and elder statesman, he said in the statement. Mr. Shatashi, a lawyer, said the former governor passed on peacefully on Tuesday morning at the National Hospital Abuja after a brief illness. At this trying time, we pray for God's grace and mercy upon him and those left behind to mourn him, he added. He said the family would announce his funeral arrangements in due course. Mbanuju was governor of Anambra State between 29th May 1999 and 29th May 2003 under the PDP. Alex Oti names Arumma Ote on May 29, 2023. Oti, in a statement issued on Tuesday by the council secretariat, said the Transition Council will help to articulate a policy document that would forge a direction and developmental agenda for Abia in line with his vision for the state. The council will be chaired by Victor Onyemba, partner and COO, KPMG, and co-chaired by Ifweko Okaoru, former executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Arumma Ote, former director general of Nigeria Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, former treasurer and vice president of the World Bank, and currently a director of FSD Africa, an international development agency focused primarily on financial markets in sub-Saharan Africa, is also on the council. Other notable members are Professors Ndubisi Ekekwe, a Nigerian-born inventor who helped Apple design a semiconductor for the iPhone, Mr. Uche Oji, the immediate past CEO of Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority NSIA, Victor Koronkwo, GMD of Iteco Oil and Gas, Mr. Frank Nneji, founder of APC Transport Company, and Ide John Udabala, an Aba-based business mogul. The council will be inaugurated on Friday, April 14th, 2023, by the governor-elect in Aba, the choice of Aba, the commercial nerve center of Abia State. For the inauguration of the council is strategic as well as significant, with the Enyimba City being the centerpiece of the incoming Alex Oti government's economic and infrastructural development plan. Oti had promised during the campaigns to create a ministry for Aba to take charge of the urban and the physical renewal of once famous commercial and industrial hub of Southeast Nigeria. Federal Road Safety Commission confirms death of 12 persons as EPSU shuttle bus collides with truck in Ebonyi. No fewer than 12 persons, mostly women, have died in a fatal road accident which occurred on Tuesday in Ebonyi. The incident, it was gathered, happened along the Ezilo axis of the Enugu-Abakaliki Expressway. The Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, confirmed the fatal accident. According to its sector commander in Ebonyi, Uche Chukura, the accident involved a shuttle bus and truck. She said 12 out of 14 passengers in the bus died, while 2 injured persons were rushed to the LX Ikweme Federal University Teaching Hospital for treatment. 14 passengers were involved, 12 died, 10 females and 2 males. The 2 injured are receiving treatment at LX Ikweme Federal University Teaching Hospital, she said. The bus was a private university shuttle bus that plied Abakaliki town to Ishieke and permanent site campuses of Ebonyi State University, EPSU. The pictures of the accident, which was marked EPSU bus service, caused panic among the university community. However, sources said the earlier report that the victims are students of Ebonyi State University, EPSU, was false. A reliable source noted that while the accident involved one of EPSU's shuttle buses, the passengers were not students of EPSU. The source explained that the passengers had hired the bus for a separate non-academic trip. It was gathered that the passengers, who are mostly women, hired the bus to convey them to an event outside the state believed to be a burial. Mysterious deaths claim 4 family members in Enugu community. Fear has gripped the people of Abo community in Udi local government area of Enugu State following the mysterious deaths of 4 family members in the community. It was gathered that Peter Okorombu, his wife, Petronila, their nephew and niece, who were living with them, all died days after in a strange and mysterious way in January 19, 2023. The situation forced community members to embark on a search to unravel the mysterious deaths. Without success, the deceased, who had been slated for burial on Friday, April 14th, were said to have died following minor complaints of blurred eyesight. Peter, whose wife was said to have been taken to the hospital, died just 2 hours after getting to the hospital, newsmen learned. It was further gathered that while Peter died a day after he was hit by a strange illness at the hospital on January 18th, 2023, his wife died a day after from similar circumstances at a different hospital, followed by their niece and nephew. Jotted by the development, the community endorsed autopsies for Peter, Petronilla, and Favor while they buried boy and reported the matter to the police. President General of the community, also Beneventure, told reporters that the matter has also been escalated to the Ministry of Health and the state's disease control agency. He said the entire community was devastated by this tragedy. One thing that was clear to all is that the deaths were strange, as they weren't sick but died hours after. To ascertain the root cause of these mysterious deaths and prevent future occurrence, the matter was reported to the police by some family members and a coroner inquest ordered. Some government health authorities were also alerted. Officials of the state's disease control agency came to the community and asked questions. The police also obtained their information. Later, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) officials came from Abuja to the community and took samples from everyone that had connection with the deceased. They thought it could be an epidemic. It is more than 2 months. As I speak to you, none of these efforts have yielded anything. We have not been able to unravel the cause of the mysterious deaths. The Disease Control Office, Abuja, informed us that it was not an epidemic. The autopsies we paid for at the University of Nigerian Teaching Hospital, UNTH, Enugu, in the last 2 months have not produced any results. The hospitals where they died could not give a medical report about the cause of their deaths. We are worried and still seeking answers and solutions, also stated. I am a Christian, but as I speak to you, some traditional members of the community have gone to make inquiries and come back without answer. We are praying to God to help us because we have not seen this kind of a thing before. We are still shocked by the development. When the incident occurred in January this year, most members of the community abandoned their homes in fear that it was an epidemic. They returned following assurances from the NCDC officials that it was not an epidemic, also stated. You can't force Igbos into war, Ohaneze to Ekpa on claiming to be Biafran Prime Minister. The Igbo socio-political organization Ohaneze Ndi Igbo on Tuesday condemned the self-styled Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa for declaring himself the Biafran Prime Minister. Ohaneze's Secretary General Okechukwu Isiguzoro said Ekpa and his paymasters can't force Igbos into a civil war. In a statement, Isiguzoro described Ekpa as an enemy of the Igbo nation while distancing itself from the formation of the unity government. Isiguzoro said Ohaneze worldwide views with great distaste and condemnation the purported declaration by Simon Ekpa, leader of the Ekpa Killer Squad autopilots, as a Biafran Prime Minister in exile. Indeed, this latest episode, an orchestrated attempt by the Finland-based Igbo enemy who has made himself a ready tool in the destruction of Ali Igbo, can only be blamed on his deliberate pampering by the Finnish and the Nigerian governments after detailed reports of heightening terrorism from his Finnish base, including reports from a Finnish journalist who was in Enugu this February to personally interview families of victims of his terror attacks, which he boldly affirmed on Finnish television and was presented to the Finnish government. Ndibo has rebutted and renounced in strong terms the formation of a purported Biafran government in exile by someone Ifeanyi Njoku Ekpa, who is seen as the greatest enemy of Ndibo in the last 200 years and one of the most dangerous terrorists in Africa and operating from Finland. If the Nigerian government fails to check this ugly development, Ekpa's game plan is to plunge Nigeria into another undeserved civil war. Ndibo are now given a standing order to capture Ekpa, dead or alive. He must not be allowed to escape justice as the leader of the most dreadful killer squad in the Southeast, whose sole aim is to destabilize the Southeast with his satanic agenda of leading another civil war against Nigeria. For the avoidance of doubt, Ndibo can never be pushed into fighting another war, regardless of the provocations of Ekpa and his paymasters, who surprisingly are hurt by the ongoing fraternity existing between Ndibo and their Yoruba siblings. and are hell-bent on thwarting it, from declaring a 5-day sit-at-home in the southeast during the presidential election to the declaration of sit-at-home in Lagos. EPA has only one agenda: the destruction of our Igbo, to fulfill his paymaster's political ambitions. Indeed, his latest drama is aimed at distracting the Labour Party presidential candidate from the pursuit of his pan-Nigerian mandate at the election tribunal by questioning his belief in Nigeria when his people are pressing on with Biafra and now have a prime minister in exile. Ohaneze urged the Nigerian and Finnish governments to delay no further in extraditing EPA to Nigeria to face prosecution for crimes against humanity. That is the only thing that will be a deterrent to EPA and his co-travelers, he added. Now we move over to the foreign scene. South Korea fines Google $32 million for blocking sales on rival platform. South Korea's competition watchdog on Tuesday imposed a fine of 42.1 billion won, $32 million on Google. The company was fined for using its dominant market position to block the sale of computer games on rival platform One Store. The South Korean Fair Trade Commission said that Google had reached questionable agreements with game makers between June 2016 and April 2018 to ensure that they offered their products exclusively on Google Play. In return, Google had offered certain marketing advantages to the game makers. The FTC said in a statement, One Store's value as a platform has declined as a result, it said. Google was able to extend its dominance in the app market, FTC said. Google denied the allegation, saying it had not infringed any competition laws. The tech giant said it would decide on further action after receiving the FTC ruling in writing. One Store was set up in 2016 by 3 South Korean mobile phone providers. This is where we draw the curtain on news updates on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Ex-Anambra Governor Mbanuju dies at 78. LXOT names Arumma Hotel, others as transition committee members. Federal Road Safety Commission confirms death of 12 persons as EPSU shuttle bus collides with truck in Ebonyi. Mysterious deaths claim 4 family members in Enugu community. You can't force Igbos into war, Ohaneze to EPA on claiming to be Biafran Prime Minister. South Korea fines Google $32 million for blocking sales on rivals' platform. You just listened to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifeanyi Chukwu, AKZ. Thank you for listening. Once again, good evening. Thanks. Like, subscribe, and share, right? Thank you.
Listen to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM.